Today we are going to discuss the most asked Python interview questions which you cannot afford to skip. We begin by asking, what is Python and what are its key features? Python is a high-level, interpreted, general-purpose programming language known for its readability and simplicity. Key features include being dynamically typed, extensive standard libraries, and automatic memory management. Next, let's explore the difference between list, tuple, set, and dict. Lists are ordered, mutable collections. Tuples are ordered, immutable collections. Sets are unordered, unique, and mutable collections. Dictionaries are unordered, mutable collections of key value pairs. What is the difference between is and equals equals? The equals equals operator compares the values of two objects, while the quote is operator checks if two objects are the same in memory, meaning they have the same identity. We then examine mutable and immutable data types. Mutable types, like lists and dictionaries, can be changed after creation. Immutable types, such as integers, strings, and tuples, cannot be altered after they are created. What is Python's Global Interpreter Lock, or GIL? The GIL is a mechanism used in CPython that ensures only one thread executes Python bytecode at a time, even on multi-core processors. It simplifies Python's memory management and garbage collection. Explain Python memory management. Python uses a private heap to manage memory, which is handled by the Python Memory Manager. It also uses reference counting and a cyclic garbage collector to reclaim unused memory. What are Python decorators, and where would you use them? Decorators are a syntactic sugar mechanism that allows you to modify or enhance a function or class without explicitly changing its source code. They are useful for logging, timing, and authorization checks. Next, we ask, what are generators, and how are they different from normal functions? Generators are functions that return an iterator, using the yield keyword instead of return. They generate values one at a time, saving memory, unlike normal functions that compute and return all values at once. Explain args and asterisk wargs. Allows a function to accept a variable number of positional arguments as a tuple. Domp kwargs allows a function to accept a variable number of keyword arguments as a dictionary. What is the difference between shallow copy and deep copy? A shallow copy creates a new object, but inserts references to the original's content. A deep copy creates a new object and recursively copies all objects found in the original, ensuring no shared references. What is a lambda function, and when should you use it? A lambda function is a small, anonymous function defined with the lambda keyword. They are restricted to a single expression and are typically used for short operations or when a small function is needed as an argument to a higher order function. What is the difference between @static method and @class method? @static method, methods are bound to the class, but do not access instance or class state. @class method, methods are bound to the class and receive the class as the first argument, allowing them to modify class state. What is method overriding in Python? Method overriding is an object-oriented programming feature where a subclass provides a specific implementation for a method that is already defined in its parent class. Explain inheritance and multiple inheritance in Python. Inheritance allows a class to derive properties and methods from another class. Multiple inheritance allows a class to inherit from multiple parent classes, creating a complex class hierarchy. What is __init__, and why is it used? __init___ is a special method, known as a constructor, that is automatically called when a new instance of a class is created. It is primarily used to initialize the object's attributes. What is exception handling? Explain try, except, else. And finally, exception handling manages runtime errors. Try block code is monitored for exceptions. Except handles the exception if one occurs. Else runs if no exception occurred. And finally, executes cleanup actions regardless of exceptions. What is the difference between raise and assert? Raise is used to manually trigger an exception, stopping program execution and signaling an error. Assert is used to check if a condition is true. If false, it raises an assertion error, typically used for debugging or internal consistency checks. How do you read and write files in Python? You read and write files using the built-in open function, specifying the file path and mode. You should always close the file after operations, often by using the with open statement for automatic resource management. What are Python iterators? How do they work internally? Iterators are objects that represent a stream of data. They work internally using the __iter___ method, which returns the iterator object itself, and the __next___ method, which returns the next item in the sequence and raises stop iteration when finished. How does multithreading work in Python, and how is it affected by GIL? Multithreading in Python allows concurrent execution. However, due to the global interpreter lock, only one thread can execute Python bytecode at a time, limiting the speedup for CPU-bound tasks, but still benefiting I/O-bound tasks. So these were the most asked Python interview questions. Hope you like them. Make sure to subscribe the channel if you want more interview questions.